Hi, welcome to another video. Thought I'd get the jelly plate out again today and do some quite easy botanical prints. I did some last year, and as you know from other videos, I do like anything to do with flowers and trees and nature. So that's what I thought I'd do today. I'm just going to show you three quite easy techniques, and I'll just show you quickly what you need. So obviously you need your jelly plate and some acrylic paint. So I just use these Reeves and Deco Art I'm using today. You need a brayer, some texture stamps, but to be honest, you don't need to have anything special. I mean, you could use something like a tube, or even the end of a paintbrush, or you know, it's absolutely anything you can use. And then the only other thing, obviously, are some leaves and foliage, anything you can find in your garden. Okay, so the first technique that I'm going to do then is quite a straightforward one. So I'm just going to put this colour, I think this colour is it Rose Madder, I think? Deep Madder. Okay, so I'm just going to put this down. So this brayer is really old. I think I'll use my other one. Let's put a bit more paint down. That's better. Okay, so once you've rolled out your paint, you just need to put your leaves on the plate, like so. For this technique, it's quite good if you can get ones with quite prominent veins. That'll work best. Or things that have got quite a nice shape. Okay, then once you've placed your leaves, you just need to put your paper on top. It can be a bit tricky when they're not very flat. To leave that. Okay, then you just need to pull as much of the colour up as you can. And once you've got all the colour, carefully take off the leaves. You have to make sure that your paper doesn't move. You need to keep it in exactly the same place. tricky. And then you just put your paper back down exactly where it was. And rub again. Then that's what you are left with. So I think my paper did move perhaps very slightly because you can see a white edge there, but I think that's really effective. I love the patterns you can see from the veins. So I think that's a really straightforward technique. And I'll do one more of these just to add some texture to the background. Actually, let's okay, so I'm going to use turquoise. Okay, and then I'm just going to use this sponge just to add a bit of texture around the leaves. And we do exactly the same as before. Get some paper. Press down to make sure you're getting all the little creases. Take the leaves off again. I did purposely use some of the same leaves because I wanted to see what the outcome would be if I kept the red paint on as well. So let's see what this one looks like. Okay, there we go. That's quite a nice one. You can see the contrast more with this one. But yeah, this is a nice, straightforward technique that you can start with if you've not done printing with flowers and leaves before. It's a good one to get started with. So yeah, I think I'm quite different on the. I think I prefer that one. Anyway, that's one technique. So just don't waste any paint. Okay. So this next technique uses two colours. So I'm going to use a rose red and a luscious lemon. Okay. So the first colour we put down is going to be the colour of the leaves. And what this technique does is it just uses some, I can't get the paint out. This technique just gives the leaves some texture. So for the texture, I'm going to use this handwriting stamp. So you can use whatever you like, it really doesn't matter. Like I said, this will be the colour of the leaves. First thing we do then is pull up this layer here. So what I'm going to do actually is just put a tiny bit of pink paint on here, just to make the lettering stand out a little bit more. Sometimes it can look quite faint, just depends. Okay, so this will be what comes through on the leaves. So pull that up. Okay, so I'll put that to the side. And then I'll use the pink. This colour will be the background. Now the type of leaves you need to use for this ideally are ones that are quite flat. So these kind of ones. Okay. Then you take the same paper as before. Just put that on top. It's not. Okay, so there we go. So you can see the handwriting on the leaves. Some's come out better than others. I think I probably did need to put the pink paint on just to make it a bit more visible. But it really depends what colours you're using. So just just experiment and see what you come up with. So yeah, that's quite an interesting effect. Obviously you don't have to have handwriting, you can have any kinds of texture. Actually, should we do one more, see if we can see what other patterns we can come up with. This is an old bit that I was experimenting with. That's quite interesting actually. Yeah, so that's similar to the one we did before, wasn't it? When you can see the veins of the leaves. That's quite a nice one. Okay, so let's go with, let's see, let's put this turquoise. Turquoise. Yeah, let's do this colour. My paints are running out. I've not cleaned the plate this time, just to pick up what's left over. Okay, so let's use some different textures. Let's just try some different things. Okay, so that's quite a nice background. So now we're going to, so remember that colour, that first colour will be the colour of the leaves. And then, shall we do, let's see. So I'm going to use Deep Madder again. And this colour will be the background colour. Okay, so we put our flat leaves down again. Okay. Okay, there we go. So you can see the texture on the leaves. So if you want something other than the veins, then that's one way to do it. Okay, so that's that technique. So I'm just going to show you one more thing to do with your leaves and jelly plate. Just pick that up first. This is another one of my older papers. Let's see what this looks like. So this last technique that I'm going to show you uses a few different colours and lots of different types of leaves and things. So I'm going to put some white, and this is deep turquoise, down first. Into the fairly lightish blue. That's quite nice. Okay. So then you need to put your foliage on. And it's best if you can try and spread different parts out, because it results in a more defined final print if you can. For the same reason, you don't really want things touching each other, because they end up as a bit of a big blob otherwise. My dog barking. My daughter's just got back from guide camp, so I have to go and see her. I'll just do this bit. Okay, so when you've got your flowers on, you can take a paw, and you want to make sure you really get into all the crevices and pick up as much paint as you can. Okay, so that's the first pull. And then you take off your foliage, and you just need to leave it to dry for a little bit. I suppose how long depends on how hot it is. It's a bit chilly here in the UK today. It was nice yesterday. Use early spring green. Maybe a bit of lavender. And brayer that over. Just add a bit of white actually. Bit of green. Okay, and you can just add a bit more texture. I think when I did the video last year, I added a butterfly in the sky, so you can do whatever. Okay, Okay. Okay. Left a bit of paper behind. So there we go. So yeah, so darker colour for the flowers, and you can see the texture in the background. And you can see that by spreading out these a little bit, they look a little bit less blob-like. Okay, so they are the 3 techniques that you can use. So they're the first ones. So that's when we just used one colour, put the leaves down, lifted the paper up, took the leaves off, put the paper back down, and picked up the veins. And that's the second one we did. I think I might have used a little bit less paint on that one. And then we did the textures with the handwriting stamp, which you can see that in there. So instead of the veins, you can use different textures. That was the other one we did. It was that one, wasn't it? So again, you can choose whatever textures you like, but that was something quite interesting. These were just the other prints that we did from that were left over from that. And then the last one we just did, yeah, shame about the paper, never mind. But I think you can see that the better shape flowers you have or leaves, the better it works really. So I don't know, this one is a bit, you can't really tell what that was, but I think this grass has worked quite well if it wasn't for the torn paper. You've got the leaf shape down there. And I think adding the textures in the background works well. But for this one, just make sure you've got a dark colour to start with. I think that works better. And the lighter colour in the background. And with these ones, again, I think the lighter colour for the leaves works better. So that's the colour you put down first. Yeah, this one doesn't really matter. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed learning about those 3 techniques. They're quite straightforward, quite easy for beginners to do. Yeah, and it's lots of fun anyway. Okay, bye for now.